Hello everybody and welcome back inside the box for another episode of Gunpla Kitbash with me, Kukamatsu. In this episode we'll be kitbashing our way around the torso, so let's jump right in. Okay, time to do some work on the abdomen. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do here. I do have some ideas, so I'm going to start with that. I mean, this is the original piece from the kit. I was thinking of fitting it on there somehow like that. I do want to show the pistons and I want it to integrate nicely in the sides, so it might require some trimming just to get it to fit up a little higher so that we can see a bit more of the piston and it doesn't stick out down there. I did grab a similar piece from the Master Grade Blitz Gundam, and that might be a better option. I'm not really sure. I'm going to try both of them and see which one works better. They're both a little bit too narrow just to fit over that nicely. The Blitz one does fit a little better. Maybe it's just a matter of trimming a couple of things and see if it can fit better. So why don't we try that? I'm going to start with the Blitz and see how that goes. So I know that this is in the way. It's looking pretty cool on the front. The side and back, not as much, not as good. I'm having to stretch it out to get it to that position. I can always widen it if that's what needs to be done. I like the integration of that shape on there. Okay, I'm going to take a bit of a leap of faith here. I have no idea if this is the right thing to do, but I'm going to cut this across the back and just see how these fit as independent pieces. Where it really starts to interfere actually is at the back. I wonder if I cut out this panel here. Starts to work. Maybe I need to clear this out. I confess that I've done this a lot of times where I just start trimming and trimming and trimming until there's like a sliver of a thing left, and then I realize it was pointless and I have to do something else. I'm really wanting to avoid that scenario here if I can. I just don't want to overcut and then regret it. But generally, I think that's cool. It's like a guard for the piston, but still allows movement of the piston. Just get that on there with some sticky tack. I could round that out a little bit just to make it integrate a bit better. I think I like the look of the Blitz one better than the Freedom one, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. So let's keep it like that for now. We can always refine the connection later and see what else we got. I found this piece in my Kitbash stuff and it kind of just fit sort of nicely there. I think I need to trim it back a little bit to get it to fit in. I don't know if it would be a panel or if it would end up being a mechanical piece. I think I can just trim this straight across. Yeah, it just kind of sits nicely in there. I do kind of see it more as a mechanical piece in the end. And I also found these pieces. Sorry, I did all this searching through parts off camera, but really it wouldn't be that interesting to watch. It's just me rifling through piles and piles of Kitbash bits, but this is something that I found, which I thought could go up here. I wouldn't use the whole thing, but it would just be neat to bring some of that mechanical stuff. Actually, you know, my main goal is there's this gap that you can see straight through there, and so I'm trying to fill that up. I thought it might be neat to have something in there, maybe put a peg on the end of it so it looks like it's also articulated. The other thing I was thinking of as a possibility is this piece here is from the original kit. It's from the stomach, and maybe I can fit it in there a little bit if I trim it. So I'm going to get out the razor saw and I'm just going to trim. Basically I want just the side part, so I'm going to trim, leaving a little bit extra on. So there we go. It's kind of flat-ish. Let's see if it could fit up in there. Need to trim a bit of stuff off the back. I was thinking about it, something like that might give a nice transition. I think that might actually work. I don't want to cover up all that detail, but it being a gaping hole I don't think really works either, so it just needs something to solve that. I think that works pretty well. I think we're getting somewhere here. Actually, with that piece in there, maybe that one's not going to work. It's not going to be able to fit through there, but I'm really liking the shapes here. Like, this is fitting very well here. I don't want to fill the gaps completely because I like the look of a little bit of space between the panels and the mechanical stuff. That'll be mechanical, that'll be panel, that'll be panel. It's looking pretty cool. And then maybe I don't need this piece. Maybe I can use it another way. Have it come down. It's too big as it is. Let me trim it down a little bit. That's kind of interesting. Well, I'd say this is working out remarkably well so far. I really like how all of these shapes are interacting. And then that was really just luck. I think it started with this middle piece. And my general approach with that kind of thing, when I'm trying to find bits and pieces like this to fit on, is like, I'm trying to find something that fits at least partly naturally onto the thing that I'm trying to fit it to. So I mean that one kind of just sort of sat in there. It was a nice the right angles, and I knew that I would have to trim a bit off for it to work, but that's always kind of my starting point. This it's kind of the same with this. I knew this kind of shape fit, so I just altered the back. So that's kind of my philosophy when it comes to trying to find bits and pieces for this kind of kit bashing stuff. And I think it's worked out pretty well so far. I do feel like this base is... It's not that it's too big, it's that it doesn't really have a purpose. So I was looking for something mechanical to put in there, but I came across these little guys here, and they might, actually just fit perfectly right up in there. It's not mechanical, it's more of a panel piece, but I guess I could paint it to look like a mechanical piece or as a panel, depending on what I felt like. I happen to have two of them. They're from two different kits. That's always an issue when you're kit bashing stuff. A lot of times you find a piece that you really like and fits perfectly, but you only have one of them and you need two of them. In this case I had two from different kits. I'm not really sure. I was kind of set on the idea, and then now that I'm looking at it from the front, it takes away the kind of cool sleekness factor and just kind of, maybe I need to look for something else in there. I do like spaces like this to feel like they have purpose. Why would they cut that piece out? Why wouldn't they cover that with a panel? There needs to be something featured there that makes sense if it's not going to be a panel. I'll have to explore that more. Maybe I can find something interesting to fit in there. The other thing I've been looking at is the back. Got a few potential pieces here. One I was thinking of was this one. Kind of fit it in like that. See how it just has a sort of natural fit? This kind of sits in there nicely. And then that gave me the idea of putting something mechanical in there. So I'm thinking maybe something like that, or maybe the other way. I don't want to interfere with the backpack. I think that way will interfere. I think in addition to that, I have some other bits and pieces here. Maybe these guys. Some are in here. Up there like that. That would be cool. Gives kind of a reason for that cutout shape as well. Just kind of cool. This one actually has paint on it because I used it in another kit a long time ago, and that kit didn't really hold together very well, so I have lots of little bits and pieces from that still, but all in different little chunks. Maybe I need to cut these little pegs off. That could work, and it also could, to be careful that I don't start interfering with the waist area. I do like it. Maybe I could do it more up like that. Okay, I was just double checking on the waist piece, and the back piece does come up in that area, so I think I need to keep it clear. It's really the piston that I like, so maybe if I trim it down so it doesn't stick out so far, maybe I can just stick it up. No, I don't like it as much. Maybe if I had it out that far. I'm going to explore something else for that one too. I don't quite like the way that's turning out. So let me just go and find some more pieces as potential candidates for these spaces. Okay, found some more stuff. I brought a few things here, even though there are a couple of things here that I've already kind of rejected in my mind, but I wanted to show you some of my thought process. One of the things that I have in my kit bash kit is a couple of old motorcycle kits, and I got them actually specifically for kit bashing Gundam stuff, just because I thought, well, it's kind of similar. It's like it's got some fairing parts, it's got some sticky outy mechanical bits. It could work out pretty well. What I have found though is that a lot of the times the pieces just don't look right style-wise. They're too detailed, and I was thinking some kind of radiator type thing, but it's just actually the detail is too fine and doesn't fit the rest of the style of the kit. So I rejected those. I thought about something maybe like this, some kind of flapper thing, but I was really just reacting to the nice width, but it doesn't really make sense there. What I think I will try though is these pieces. A lot of times inner frame bits, these kind of connector pieces from inner frames, are really great for mechanical kit bashing stuff for this kind of style. Let me just clean up the nubs here. Okay, so somehow we want to get that into there. Maybe they stick out too much. I don't think I really need that ball on there, so I'm going to trim it off. Let's see. See if I can push it farther up into it. Yeah, I think that works better. Just tucks up in a little bit more. I think that's looking pretty good. Okay, now in regards to the back, I was thinking I might actually just take this out. Still keep the side pieces, but use this piece from the Strike Rouge if I can get it to fit. Something like that. The important thing to me here is that it still looks cool from the profile, because you're not going to really see this that well because the backpack will be on there. I think what I might try doing is just cutting off this bottom section. That's a bit better. I do want to make sure I keep these pieces because I really like them in here. They're key. So let me sticky tack them in first, then work around them so I don't end up putting something in there that wrecks it all. So I think that works out pretty well. I think that's going to be pretty good. Seems to fit nicely. Okay, now for this back section, I found this, which is from my F90, and I just thought those pieces in there would be a nice thing to fit in there. I don't know if it's going to work out because I haven't taken it apart yet. I really like the shape of these things, actually. That was easy. It's actually working out pretty well. The pieces are fitting together quite nicely. And I think the flow, the style is all kind of working. Of course, it's all just sticky tacked together at the moment still. But I think after painting, there's just going to have to be a lot of gluing at that stage to get this all working again as a permanent thing. A lot of these pieces I've just cut temporarily. I will clean them up a little bit. Curious to know what you think? Let me know in the comments. I think it's pretty cool. Thank you very much for watching. That is the end of this week's episode. Please consider giving me a like on your way out, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.